Lucy Hunter Blackburn from Murray Blackburn Mackenzie.
Good morning, again. One of the very first times I spoke in public about women's rights was 3.5 years ago on this subject, on what was happening in Scotland's prisons to women. 3.5 years ago. It was an event at the University of Edinburgh, held under the most extraordinary conditions of security. Felt insane at the time, and yet it was proved right because of what happened at the end to Julie Bindel. To Julie, one of the most tenacious, fantastic campaigners for women in prison for years. Julie needed to be physically protected by university security from an act of male aggression. And 3.5 years, here we are again, and acts of male aggression continue to be a theme at the University of Edinburgh, but at least we got to hold that meeting. Unlike some recently, anyway. In June 2019, I said that I will start by making a point that in Scotland, we imprison too many people. Everywhere in the UK, we imprison too many people. We lock up too many women and too many men. That's still my starting point. But we have to deal with where we are, and we need policies in prison for everyone, many of them very vulnerable, which ensure they're treated as safely as possible and with respect for their dignity. With that in mind, I want to talk to you about the risk assessment. We've heard some references to that, as some of the male offenders placed with women in our prisons. So in recent weeks, the case of Adam Graham, Isla Bryson, the Scottish Government ministers have placed a good deal of faith in risk assessment. The First Minister said, "There is no automatic right for any trans woman to serve their sentence in a female prison. That is subject to robust risk assessment." Which is right and proper. Politicians are very fond of this word, robust. In the case of double rapist Adam Graham, the First Minister wanted to reassure everyone listening that this robust process would, in her words, lead to the right outcome. So what do we know about the risk assessment process that the Scottish Prison Service uses? Well, actually not as much as we should for a start, but Dr. Alessandra Asteriti specialises in international human rights law, and she used freedom of information to obtain a copy of the risk assessment template that the SPS uses to decide where transgender prisoners should be placed and who should carry out searches. We haven't mentioned this morning yet, I think, very much female staff in the prison estate, but they have been betrayed horribly. So you can see a copy of this risk assessment on our website. Alessandra has done an excellent guest blog. The template is, you'll be surprised to hear, it's opaque and incoherent. It talks about social gender, gender identity, declared gender. At no point does it refer to the prisoner's sex. Nor does it mention women, the one group most likely to be impacted. It asks whether the offender would feel safe housed in a state matching their declared gender, but it does not consider how those housed in that estate might feel. We always could see this was happening, but when you look at the risk assessment template, there it is, right in front of you in black and white. It does ask if the prisoner's index offence involved violence against a particular gender, not sex, gender. But there's no indication at all of what sort of importance is attached to this information. Somebody we know had a look at it who does risk assessment and said it's no way near enough a competent